Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. So this is going to be like a sit down video, so grab your coffee and just hang out with me. So you couldn't tell, I am wearing my NCT Dreamscape sweater because the news broke out that Mark Lee of NCT is leaving NCT and SM. So yeah, another person lost, and yet another person who is in my bias line. So we're just not doing too great over here. We are not doing too great in the K-pop world. Literally, Danielle is in my bias line of New Jeans, and Manal is my bias of Cat's Eye. Heesung became a part of my bias line. I was initially Sunghoon Jake, and Mark Lee is in my bias line. So I don't know what's with me and choosing people that decide to leave groups. But, anyways, I have been kind of a mess since I've heard the news. And again, I don't know why these things are hitting me the way they are, but I think there's just like a mix of emotions going on here. And before I get into like what I think is happening, because there's just like a lot of stuff surfacing and like a lot of emotions happening, and there's just a lot going on. But I want to talk about like how my involvement in NCT Dream and how I got into them, because I like to do that as like a precursor before going into these conversations. But basically, I got really into NCT Dream during their Smoothie comeback. I watched the music video, fell head over heels for Mr. Jamin in that music video, and I was just floored by all of the vocals and just the visuals of that music video, and later fell in love with, I brought all my albums out so I can, fell in love with the Dreamscape album. It is one of my favorite albums of all time. It is on my favorite albums of all time playlist, which I have on Spotify, but this album is what got me into NCT Dream. And they've been around obviously for a long time, but I didn't really get into K-pop until late 2019, 2020 COVID era, when I feel like a lot of people were getting into K-pop because there was not much to do. And I also got into K-pop through my best friend, which I've mentioned before, who was a huge BTS stan. So I was really fully invested in like BTS and TXT, and then later went to KCON and found all these wonderful groups. And then Smoothie happened, and that's how I got into NCT Dream. And I posted a TikTok of me reacting to the Smoothie music video, and it got a decent amount of views on TikTok, and people really, helped me out figuring out who these people were. But yeah, so fell deep into the Dream Scape. Yeah, I've really been a fan of NCT Dream. I've loosely followed 127 and I've liked their title tracks here and there, but I never fully got into them because at this time I was following like 10 groups and still am, but I really grew to love NCT Dream's music. And I also did a deep dive of their music videos on my YouTube channel and reacted to all of their title tracks and some of their albums on here, and have reacted to like their comebacks as they have been coming out. Like instantly fell in love with them. And I saw them on their Dreamscape 3 tour. I saw them in Oakland with my friend, and that was in September of 2024. So it's been a few years of me being an NCT Dream stan. And I know, like, even before I got into K-pop, I knew of Mark Lee because, or when I was just getting into K-pop, I felt like his name was kind of everywhere. And every video I saw, like, someone was talking about Mark Lee and like NCT. I feel like the big 3 groups that I was really hearing about were BTS, Blackpink, and NCT when I was first getting into K-pop. So that goes to show that like Mark Lee is a huge person in the K-pop industry and in the music industry just in general. So yeah, I just like, when the news hit, I was like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? The Mark Lee is leaving. So yeah, I was in a denial stage at first, and then I was like really sad because I saw all the videos of their last tour, which was now their last tour as a 7-member group. I saw all of them crying and I was like, why are they all crying? Why are they so sad? Because this was before the news had broke out. Little did we know this would be the last tour as NCT Dream 7. So yeah, it's been a tough time just because I feel like every month something is happening and there's just a lot of unanswered questions, which, comes with the territory of K-pop. They can't give us all the information, but I feel like his letter was very, like, I understood the reasoning, and I feel like his letter was just like easier to manage and understand more than Heesung. Like, this felt, because the thing with Heesung's was that there were too many different sides of the story and like they didn't match up with Be-Lift. And it would have been better if I knew, like, okay, he actually wanted to leave, like, on his own. But because they didn't match up, it was hard to understand the reasoning. But with Mark, it seems very understandable as to why he's leaving. Sorry, my neighbors are quite loud right now. Basically, what I gathered was that he's been in this industry well over 10 years. He started, I think, as a trainee as like 12 or 14, or maybe he was like 12 and then debuted at 14. Literally went through all of his teen years and his early adulthood as a K-pop idol in a huge band. And he also has been a part of multiple units of NCT. He went through a graduating system with NCT. He came back and was part of Dream 127 and U. So he has been all over the map. And I think he also is in Super M, which I haven't really followed their, like, that unit. He is like the face of NCT. And it's not like, I'm not saying that to downplay the other people in NCT. Like, the other people in NCT are very talented. They are their own talents, and like NCT Dream and 127 will still be those groups even without Mark. Like, I'm not downplaying their roles in the group. Like, I love each and every single member of NCT Dream for their like specific part in that group. But because when I got into K-pop and Mark Lee was such a heavy name, like, it came to me as a shock. But I understand because he's only 26 and he's already had like a 10 year basically. He's a 10-year in K-pop at 26. And I would understand, like, if he just wants to take time for himself and figure out his path as an artist on his own, not tied to a company. And like, I'm not mad for him for leaving SM because we all know SM is like a trash company. So like, good for him for sticking to his guns and deciding to leave SM. I feel like his solo album, which I loved his solo album. I have the little juice box version. I really loved his solo album, and I was listening to it over the weekend and like listening to the lyrics, and I feel like he was definitely trying to tell us something with the lyrics. Like, I feel like it was a reflection of his life, and I think he's just at a point in his life where he wants to just do something different, whether that be, taking a break from music or starting his own journey in music. Maybe he wants to open his own agency. Like, that would be awesome. I don't know, like, what he's going to do, but I'm just kind of happy for him in a sense that he was able to, do this for himself and have this reflection to basically have this reflection and be like, okay, I feel like there's something missing in my life and I want to have this next chapter of my life be on my own and be in my own path and make my own decisions and all of that. And I think that's actually really like a valuable lesson, especially in K-pop when everything is so contractual based on contracts. And like, so the company is basically like taking over your life. And I think this is all of these people leaving and going on hiatuses. I feel like there's going to be a change in K-pop. Sorry, my neighbors are so fucking annoying. These idols are finally starting to realize like they have their own choices to make in life. They don't have to do everything the company wants them to do. If they disagree with something that the company is doing, I feel like they're finally standing their guard and feeling like they can leave. And while it does suck that they're leaving, like these people they've been with for like half of their life, basically, at the same time, that's very strong of them to do. And I think Haechan went on a live and he mentioned that he himself like wouldn't be able to do this, and he kind of admires Mark for being able to do that. There's a lot of bravery that comes with this decision. So I feel like, it's okay to be upset and to be sad and to kind of, it's a loss. Like, it's a loss of a huge part of K-pop in general, not just with NCT. So, like, having feelings are completely valid. You shouldn't feel like you have to hide your feelings. Like, if you're sad, like, you can be sad. The one thing I don't like about, like, these people leaving groups and stuff are, sorry, I feel like I don't know what's happening. People are kind of mean to each other when something like this happens. And I don't love that. Like, people have their own ways of mourning these situations and dealing with the situation. Some people might be really sad. Some people might just be like, he's leaving, like that's his own choice. And I'm kind of in the middle. Like, this is his own choice. He's a grown adult. He can do whatever he wants, and I'm happy that like he doesn't have to be constrained by these crappy companies. But at the same time, like, I'm still sad for his members, and it is going to be weird like without him there, because he is such an integral part of all these groups. And yeah, it's just like a weird like situation to be in. So I feel like people can react in their own ways, and I just don't love how people kind of bash each other for feeling certain feelings. With all that being said, I am still going to support Mark in whatever decisions he wants to make, and I will still support his career path. Like, again, I loved his solo album, and I'm looking forward to potentially his own music on his own standards and all of that. Like, I'm looking forward to that whenever that happens. I am also going to support NCT Dream. Again, I don't really follow 127 like all that much, so I'm really like focusing on NCT Dream. I will still support NCT Dream. I've done this with every sort of situation this has happened. Like with NHYPEN, I'm still going to support NHYPEN, and I'm still going to support Heesung, even though that situation is very different. I still supported Rise and Sunghan through all of that mess. Cat's Eye, I don't know. Because I don't know. Again, Hybe likes to hide things, and I don't know what the reasoning is for putting Manal on a hiatus, and she may or may not be at Coachella. So I'm just like, I don't know if I can really support them. I don't know. I haven't been loving their last couple of title tracks, so I don't love like their path that they're going on musically. So I just don't know if I'm like gonna continue to be a stan of them. But yeah, we'll see. I do like their B-sides more than their title tracks though, so I don't know. I'm not looking forward to this new release that's coming out. So yeah, anyways, I don't really know what to do about that. And like New Jeans, I don't know. Like, we literally had nothing with New Jeans since that mess happened with Danielle. So, and not on Danielle, just like that whole situation in general. Don't know what's going to happen with that. So yeah, I still support all the artists, and I could care less about the companies. I really think all K-pop companies are trash, to be honest. So I really could care less about any of them. So yeah, I mean, the only one, funny enough, like, I don't like JYP as a person, but I feel like JYP hasn't been in as much like, and I don't know like the full history of like a lot of their groups like within JYP, but I feel like the artists have slightly more control over their music, like especially Stray Kids. Like, they write and produce all their music. So I feel like there hasn't been as much like controversy in JYP, which I don't know what it's going to be called anymore without JYP. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, this is a wild time. This is a wild, wild time. It's the wild, wild west out in K-pop, and I'm just like, I need it to calm down because there is also the situation with the boys, but their situation was like a good thing for them because they left a company who was like completely mistreating them and missing payments, and that's not good. So I'm happy that they like left the group except for one person, which I find weird, but that's a good thing for them. And also, this could be a very good thing for Mark. Like, maybe he just felt so pressured with all these groups and like being a leader and having to speak English for like all these people. And because, like, at the tour, he was the one who spoke the most in English and like spoke the most at the tour. So he was a big part of that group. And I don't know if 127 is the same. Like, I don't know how many English speakers are in that group because, again, I don't really follow them. I don't know how to end this, but I just feel like this is going to be a pivotal time in K-pop because now I'm worried that, like, or not necessarily worried. I feel like there's going to be a lot more things happening in K-pop in the near future because I feel like, again, finally people are starting to view themselves as more than just idols, which is something that I've been wanting for them for a very long time. And I feel like these people are leaving because of their creative differences and what they want to accomplish with their careers in the future. It is changing and moving forward. So who knows what else will happen. But every month so far, there's been someone leaving. So I did hear, though, I think TXT renewed their contract, so we don't have to worry about them. They will still be hanging around. And same with BTS. So all good there. But I just feel like this is a pivotal time in K-pop. Yes, I basically want to show you like the albums that I have of NCT Dream because, like I said, I dived really deep into NCT Dream after Smoothie, and I finished listening to all of their albums on my own, and I'll probably do like a separate video of my wrap up and to kind of discuss what my favorite albums are of theirs. Their discography is very interesting because I feel like they've had a lot of like repackaged albums. So some of the albums were like pretty much the same with like a couple of songs added. Yeah, I really enjoyed their like backtracks of their past EPs. But yeah, so like I said, I have Mark's First Fruit album. I also have the Hello Future album. I found this in a K-pop store at the Source. It wasn't K-Place, but it was another smaller one, and I was looking for this album like everywhere, and this was the only version I could find. But it's like one of those like you play it through an app. But I love this album, so I really wanted it, and I love the song, and I loved that performance at the concert. Definitely one of my top albums and songs from NCT Dream. So we got that. And then we also have Haechan's Taste album. I got the tin version. Love this album. Absolutely love this album. Then I also have multiple versions of the Dreamscape album without the parentheses. So I have this version, which it's just someone with the 2 discs. I thought the packaging was pretty cool. Then I have Jisung because he is my main bias. My bias line, in case you were wondering, are Jisung, Mark, and then it kind of goes back and forth between like Haechan and Jaemin. But I typically have like a bias line instead of like a bias and a bias wrecker. So yeah, but this is the Jisung solo one. And then we have the accordion. I got this as a Christmas gift. But yeah, the accordion version, because again, I loved this album as well. Then I have ISTJ, which I also really love this album. Yeah, Super cute. I had got is this the one that had like the introverted version or the extroverted? I think I got the introverted. I think that's what it was. I have both versions of the big Dreamscape albums because I just loved both versions and like the concepts, and I loved this album as a whole. Those are the two that I got. And then I also have, let me go grab it. Okay, I also have the most recent album. And what was this one called? Go Back to the Future. Is that what it was called? But I got the like skateboard version. This is what happens when you get very heavily involved into a group. I just buy all their albums. And I literally, like, I'm running out of space on my main shelf out here. So I have like the tall albums on this shelf, and then I have a smaller shelf in my room where I have like the more smaller albums like these with my Rise albums. So that's like my SM shelf. But yeah, so crazy time. And sorry, this is kind of a long video, but I just wanted to talk about my thoughts and feelings. And I would love to know like your thoughts if you have been a fan of them since the beginning, and like if you were shocked about it or if you kind of had a feeling. Like, I just, after re-listening to both the Dreamscape and the Mark's solo album, I just feel like he was definitely like trying to tell us something. And yeah, being in a group for 10 plus years, like along with training, is a lot. And again, he's only 26. So he still has a lot more time of being an artist, or we don't, again, like, I don't know if he's gonna go on a break for a while, go back to Toronto, who knows? But wild times. I might do more of these like sit down videos just because I feel like there's a lot I need to get my chest. Like, I need to like say a lot of things because so much has been happening. Just as a quick little update, I think my whole channel is just going to change in general. I've been feeling kind of stuck with my channel. I've just like, I don't know. I've been feeling stuck with YouTube in general as well. So I kind of want to change how my channel is going to be. But I'm not going to say like what that is because I don't know what that is. But I have been enjoying doing like shorts and stuff. So I might do more shorts versus more long form content. Reactions will be kind of here and there. I'm not going to pressure myself to react to everything, but my favorite groups. So those will not go away, but there will be less of them. And the writing vlogs, I'm still like trying to figure out what to do with those because I feel like they haven't been as exciting recently. Would love to know your thoughts on this, how you're feeling. Hope you are doing well. Feel all the emotions you want to feel with this. You have the right to, and don't tell anyone, or don't let anyone tell you to not feel things. Anyways, I will chat with you all later. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, definitely do, only if you want to. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.